Hello, just thought I'd spend a few minutes going through xbeam, which is one of the Tiliqua bit streams that are included with it, which is kind of an oscilloscope, a vectorscope, visualizer, has some USB functions. But I was hoping to show you a bit of a demo of xbeam working as a USB audio interface with VCV Rack. So when you start xbeam up, you get these kind of classic oscilloscope trace. I can change the time base, I can move the waveforms around, I can set the triggers up and scaling and all this kind of thing. But just to get a signal here, let's grab the fundamental from Platts, and also this is the mixer that is routed to audio, so you should also hear something hopefully. So now I just have Platts routed straight into the Tiliqua's first input. Obviously I have 4 of them, so I can do whatever I want here. I like Platts because on the fundamental you get like a more basic signal, and on the auxiliary output, and then on the main output you get a bit more content, which looks a little bit interesting. Often in the vectorscope mode you get some interesting kind of shapes going on. But if I go back to this guy, what I want to show you is, you can change a whole bunch of stuff here, like how long the beam persists. You can change like the latency of the signal. You can change the colors. All of this stuff is also controllable over CV. You can change the color palette. But I'm going to go less into the visualization stuff today and more into the USB function. So here you can see that the USB is currently in bypass mode. That means that the signals that I have routed into Tiliqua are mirrored on the outputs. So if I go ahead and disconnect the audio mixer and I put it here, you can also see it on the LEDs. Now I can hear what I'm routing in on channel 1 goes to the output 1. Likewise with the next one. So what I can do though is using Tiliqua's USB audio function and all of the crazy RTL work that is behind it, you can enable the USB audio interface. And what enable means is that now, instead of the inputs being routed directly to the outputs, the 4 inputs are routed using basically a 4-channel sound card interface into the computer. So if I start from a fresh VCV rack here, and I take the what's going into the Tiliqua and route it to a scope, you can see exactly what I'm putting into channel 1 is reflected on my machine. So yeah, I can play with that there, which is not so interesting, to be honest. So what we could do, for example, is add a looper and take the audio from the Tiliqua, both channels, and then route them back out the Tiliqua. And so now we are basically listening to the same signal again. But what I can do is, if I go ahead and hit record and then start to change some things. And then maybe stop recording. Now you can hear the loop that we just recorded, but what you're seeing on the Tiliqua screen here is actually a visualization of the Tiliqua's inputs, not the Tiliqua's outputs, which is what you're hearing from the with your ears right now. So what I can do to change that is change the Tiliqua to visualize the USB audio outputs rather than the inputs. And now I'm looking at what's coming out of VCV Rack. I can add whatever I want in the chain, but where things start to become more interesting is you can take a loop like this, or anything that you're doing in VCV Rack, spit it out, resample it, visualize it at the same time, and then kind of go through this real world and digital world feedback loop. So if I go ahead and I take, so this is the loop that I just recorded, you'll notice that it continues being played even if I disconnect the plats completely. Now I can take, for example, this output, disconnect the mixer. I can take this output, connect, I don't know, one of them into a low pass filter, one of them into the polarizer here, and then take both of them back into Tiliqua. So now I have them both routed back into the Tiliqua, and then I want to let's listen to channel 1. Okay. And we're looking at the outputs, but let's switch to the inputs. And you'll notice that now I can filter one channel and I can polarize the other channel. And if I wanted to, I could take this loop and record it over the top of what I just recorded, or I could, which I could do right now, you know, like let's go ahead and record this on top of what we already have. And now that's stored and it's going to be routed through the whole system. And then, you know, I can keep going, you know, I can grab this. Maybe I want to go through a distortion effect now. Okay, this is all a little bit too, need a few more connections, but I want to go like, okay, I've done something completely different here. Okay. Yeah, this 100 grit has a lot of character. Yeah, and you know, now I can keep going through this loop of resampling, replaying, taking some of my signals, playing them through virtual instruments and VCV Rack, taking some of my signals and playing them through my physical instruments that I have here. It really opens up a lot of possibilities, and I didn't show you so much of the different functionalities that xbeam has, but right now I just wanted to give you a little bit of a taste as to how the USB function works. So 192 kilohertz, 24-bit sampling, 4 channels, 4 output channels. Yeah, I think it's quite a powerful thing. And thanks for supporting the campaign. Thanks for watching this video. And yeah, definitely a lot more to come. More examples, more documentation, of course. And anyway, that's it for today. I will see you later. Thank you.